welcome to another episode of Cooking with Craig. Today we are doing an oven-baked ham with pineapple and cherries. That's right, an oven-baked ham with gorgeous pineapple rings and cherries. Alright, I'm going to show you what I use when I'm going to do one of these. Now, I don't have a big family. I'm, just one person and a taste tester who likes to have ham occasionally baked in the oven. But if you go and get your whole leg of ham and it's huge, or even get a half leg of ham, it's still quite a big piece of meat, and there's a lot there. So what I always do is I like to get the picnic ham. Now the picnic ham is the shoulder, the front leg of the pig. So it's not going to be as big as the back end, but it's going to have the same flavour. So I've got one here which is a picnic ham. This one has been beechwood smoked already. Thank you very much for that. So I've got my picnic ham, which is going to be perfect for what I'm going to do today. We also need to have some cloves, a tin of pineapple slices. Now you don't want the pieces because it's not going to work with what we're going to do. And some cherries. Now you can use glacé cherries, which are good. I think they're nice, but I have some marshmallow pitted cherries that I've had, in my fridge. I like to have them occasionally, and I thought they're good. And to make sure the sauce and the glaze on top is beautiful, some brown sugar. Alright, let's move over to the stove top and get our glaze ready to go on this ham. Alright, let's move. Alright, now we've moved over to the stove. What I'm going to do is I'm going to drain all of the pineapple juice out of this tin. Okay, so what we're going to do is just pop it. I want to leave the rings in there, but I want all the juice. Alright, that's been drained. Let's put this aside and get on to the next one. Alright, so I've got a half cup measure of sugar. Alright, so brown sugar, it takes a bit to get in there. Let's make sure it's nice and heaped. There we go. About half a cup. We need some juice for my cherries. Right. Just a little bit. Perfect. And we're going to chuck in about a cup of water. Alright, now we're going to bring this to the boil and let it reduce. Okay. That's going to be pretty good. Alright, time-lapse time. Alright, so while we've got the glaze reducing on the stove, we're going to come over here and we're going to prepare this ham for the cloves, the pineapple rings, and cherries. Alright, so let's just move a few things around here on my bench. And I'll show you from the top. Make sure you've got a nice knife, a cutting board, a ham over here. Let's remove it from its wrapping to start with. Now I've had it sitting out on my bench for the last would be half hour or so. So it's not refrigeration anymore. It's come up to room temperature. Well, not quite, but it's on its way. All of these little bits that they use to protect it. Alright. Now, as you can see on the top of it, it's got some skin still left on it. So what I want to do is I want to bring that skin back to about there on the hock. So bring that back all the way around. Using a nice knife. And then underneath here, we're going to just bring it back slightly with our knife. Bit by bit, we're going to relieve this ham from its skin, hopefully leaving on that nice fat layer, because that fat layer is what we want on there for our cloves and our pineapple stuff to stick to. Alright, let's get into this. Alright, Alright, as you can see, I've taken all of the skin off. Now, I didn't want to come off nicely like some skins I've had in the past where you just peel it back and it slices up behind it. Couldn't get it to do that. So this time, I've had to slice line by line by line to get this off. Alright, now I've got the ham to where I want it. I would like it to sit up like that, but it's not going to do that. So I'm going to score diagonally, crisscross all the way across, and enter in the gaps my cloves. Alright, I'm going to time lapse this part again to get down to the nitty gritty parts of almost getting this stuff on, and the glaze is still reducing as we speak. Alright, so I've now clovered, scored, and had this ham sitting out for now about half hour to an hour. So it's really come up to room temperature. It's still a little bit cold, but it's a lot better than being refrigerated straight to the oven. Don't want to do that. You get meat and it will get scared, it'll get stressed, and you don't want that because it turns out real bad meat. Alright, so now I've got a little bit of my glaze, not all of it because the rest of it's still coming down, still thickening up, because I want a nice thick glaze to finish glazing this thing over with. So I've now got my little brush, and I'm going to start brushing this. Now you might not have seen, I did pat this thing down with paper towel before, just to get off any of the extra moisture that's sitting on here. I don't want that, I want the glaze rather than moisture. Alright. Once we finish covering this thing with this, like so. Oh, that glaze. Look at that glaze. And I tasted the glaze. It's amazing too. Alright, now that we've got these all covered up, what I need to do is I need to pull out pineapple rings and lay them. We're not in Hawaii, so that's not that kind of a lay. And put these over. Although, having this pineapple and these cherries, you would think you could have been at a Hawaiian feast. You might have a lay around your neck there. Alright, so you lay them out like this. Then you get your little cherries. Now, as I said, you can use glacé cherries. They do look a lot better for photographs. But I find these marshmallow ones that have been pitted have better taste, have better flavour for this application, because you've got the juice that comes out of these that you put into your glaze, and you've also got them. They're all soft, so they're gonna ooze out even more cherryness rather than the sweet flavour that you would get if you used glazed cherries or glacé cherries. I'll make sure I'm saying it right. Alright, now I've got these all here. Now you might think, when you're starting to go down the sides, what's going to happen to these pineapple rings? They're all going to start falling off. Well, no, I have a little secret there. Let me just grab that for you. The good old-fashioned bamboo skewer. Now, some people think maybe a toothpick would do fine. Might do fine, but I want these to stay in place properly. So I've cut a bit off, straight through, straight in, and that's going to help keep them in place. Probably a little bit big. There we go. Put them in, put them through. If you want to put a couple of cherries in each one of these holes, go for it if it fits. If it doesn't, stick to the single. Try not having these sticking out too far, because the further they stick out, the more they're going to burn. Now you can, soak these in water overnight, which some people do, which is a good idea. I do approve of that, but it's not always going to be, easily done. There we go. Pull those apart. I've got another one here. Cut that in two. There we go. I've got a couple of extras, and we cover this thing up. Then we get some more glaze, and we glaze over the top again. Then when that's complete, we're going to put this into 160 degrees Celsius oven, or 325 Fahrenheit for those Fahrenheit-jiggers, people that like those ones. And we're going to cook this for about 20 to 25 minutes per half kilo or per pound, depending on if you're one of those imperial people that still use the imperial rather than the metric, because kilos are better than half of pounds and stuff. So yeah, use those whichever metrics you want. It's 25 minutes for pound or half kilo. So I'm going to cook this. This is just over, or just under 3 kilos, so it's about 280, 270, or 2.7 kilos. So I'm going to cook this for about 2 hours, 2 hours and 15 minutes, on 160 degrees Celsius. Then when it comes out, I'm going to be glazing this every half hour, by the way. When this comes out, it should be perfect. Alright, I'm going to time-lapse this next bit where I skewer this thing, put all these lovely pineapple rings on, and whack it in the oven. Right, next time you should see me, I should be basting this thing. Alright. Alright, so it's now been the first 30 minutes of this bake, and this is what it's starting to look like now. So I'm now going to just quickly glaze over this thing again with lovely glaze that's dropped down into the bottom, and also the extra glaze I've got here. So I'm just going to quickly paint over all of this with some awesome glaze that I've got, and whack this thing back in. Now I'm going to do this for every single half hour for the full 2 hours. So there's still going to be another 3 of these. I won't film it. I'll bring it out for the last glazing. Alright. Alright, so now the ham has been sitting. Just enough time for that to relax, while I've been cooking all the vegetables ready for tonight's dinner. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to pick this ham up, not with our hands, of course, but with our lovely fork. Oh, let's set that over onto the bed. There we go, onto the cutting board. Oh, that smells amazing. Alright, put this aside. Come forward. There we go. You can see the nice end of the ham. That looks amazing. Now I better quickly take some photographs before I cut this. Alright, let's be back in a second. Those photos are now taken. Now let's cut into this beautiful piece of meat. Alright. So, pull out little bits of that looks amazing. Smells amazing. Alright, well I'm going to dish up some veggies that I've got cooking as well with this lovely pineapple and cherry baked ham. Just remember, if you see anything you like in these videos, make sure you give us a big thumbs up. Don't forget to leave comments, questions, or other things you'd like me to try to cook. Leave it in the comments field below on YouTube. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and get notified when I do these Cooking with Craig segments, my car, maintenance, urban explorer, what's in the box, checkout basket, you name it, I film it, it ends up on YouTube. So, hit that subscribe button. And until next time, see you in the next video.